Jack Della Maddalena versus Pete Rodriguez. And Maddalena is coming in at a big favorite, -340, versus Rodriguez at a +270. And I'll start with Maddalena. Watch his last fight. Definitely was not a fast starter. Seemed to spend about a minute dancing around the ring, mostly kind of feeling out a guy, which is not uncommon, but just something to note. He did have some good scramble ability when it went to the ground. I saw some good boxing techniques and some good striking defense. He definitely had a tight boxing guard, which is always going to be helpful, especially for counters and things like that. He was able to fight through a head and arm triangle when he got taken to the ground, which was in pretty deep. It was pretty surprising that he was able to not just get out, but then he was able to stand up right afterwards. So I was pretty impressed with that. Pretty excited to watch this guy fight. Even though he doesn't start off fast, I liked what I saw in the striking and in the grappling defense. With Rodriguez, he's a late replacement. This guy's shots definitely look a little bit more like grappling striker. Has very wide hooks. He's definitely a powerful guy, but not nearly as refined striking, I don't think, as Maddalena. And I got the impression this guy is learning on the job, at least when it comes to grappling. It was really interesting watching one of his previous fights where he was able in the first round, he took the guy down, got into the half guard immediately, and he spent like 10-15 seconds working very hard to get himself into full guard, where he almost got put into an armbar, and then spent like another 10-15 seconds getting out of full guard back into half guard where he was to begin with. And when he got into that half guard that time, then he rained down these really heavy strikes. So he had really good ground and pound when he attempted it, but it just seemed like he was kind of lost in what he should do and which position was actually better than which position. So I was very confused when I was watching his fight. That's why I kind of got the impression like this guy's kind of learning that it's not natural for him at this point. He hasn't done enough grappling for it to just be instinct, but was definitely a powerful guy. I think Maddalena is going to need to try to avoid getting into a brawl with this guy and kind of use in and out movement, 1 to 3 strike combos, and I think that's the strategy that he's going to need to, or not necessarily need, but it's a strategy that if he employs, I think he'll end up winning. He can also use his really good striking guard to be able to take one and give counters back. Because like I said, with Rodriguez, he has these very powerful kind of wide hooks that he likes to throw, and I feel like that's a very good style if you have a strong defense to be able to block one and then throw 1-2 right down the middle. So I'm going with Maddalena on this one, which is in line with the odds makers agree. So no big surprise there.
Yeah, Maddalena is definitely more experienced by far. He has 2 losses, but since those 2 losses, he has 10 wins. So he's won by decision, by KO, TKO. This is an interesting fight because I don't see it. This to me, like, if it has a potential for like knockout of the night or like crazy back and forth, is going to be this one. Pete Rodriguez have fought for Icon Fighting, who is owned by Roe Jones Jr.'s manager. So it's like an up-and-coming promotion, but all his wins are like 2 minutes or less than 2 minutes. And like you said, like it looks like he's learning on the job, and he hasn't had much time to learn, which I think is going to factor in against somebody who has 10 wins in a row. He has that puncher's chance again, very powerful build, but I think him just not having the experience is going to show. Like, he does have a puncher's chance. He has just beat people in a minute or 2 minutes. Like 2 minutes, 11 seconds is like the longest fight. 2:21. But wins in 10 seconds, 41 seconds, a minute 25, and 2:21 is the most recent one. Whereas Maddalena has all kinds of wins. I just expect he's going to be cool, calm, composed. And Pete Rodriguez does have that puncher's chance, but I think Maddalena, yeah, he's favorite for a reason. I think clear favorite in this one, but I think this is one of those where it's like they're gonna fight. So,
Well, you called it last week in the performance bonus call out with the Collier and Sherman fight. Although I don't think anyone predicted it was going to be by submission. You called it was going to be performance bonus nonetheless, and you're right. So, okay, another performance
bonus pick right here.
Call out right here. Okay, sounds good.